Hi everyone, before today's episode, wanted to quickly mention that there is a link below in today's description which will direct you towards a charity helping the people of Palestine. As you know, the Israeli government and the Israeli police have been invading the mosque called Masjid al-Aqsa, beating people, shooting and beating little children, barging people in prayer, oppressing the people of Palestine. Therefore, please do spread the word, spread the message, and do help these people by donating through the link in today's description. Thank you so much for your support. Welcome back to the Lads Talk podcast. It's Sadiq, Daniel, and Jamie here today. Garris has gone somewhere, God knows where. Before we start the episode, though, once again, thank you. We are currently on 106 subscribers, and lots of people have entered the giveaway so far.
I didn't agree to, by the way. Wow.
Yes, but lots of people have entered the giveaway, and some people have requested a shout out. So we are doing a few shout outs today. So shout out to Minhaj Rahman, shout out to Dayan Azad, shout out to Ross, Charlie, Ellis, and Reese. So yeah, thank you for commenting on our videos. Please do keep it up. Please do enter the polls and leave comments on our posts in the community tab, like we said last time. But what we want to do, as promised last time, since we ran out of time, today we want to cover a couple of things. And just so you know what you're getting into today, we're covering relationships a little bit more, how to interact with your partner. And we are, of course, talking about the big M, meaning marriage. So stay tuned, and if you want to skip ahead, there's some timestamps in the description of the video. Click on the timestamps and skip ahead by all means. But first and foremost, I would like to ask my co-hosts some questions. Jamie, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Feeling fresh. Had the haircut recently, so a lot of weight off my head, literally. The second I stepped out the barber's, I caught that fresh air. It hit me. It's an instant breeze right across the neck, because obviously I used to have long hair. But yeah, I'm feeling fresh. As you said, a fresh start, a new beginning, and now we're looking forward.
Good to hear, good to know. And plus the weather's quite good today as well, luckily. And I think if there's any weather to be...
Sunshine.
Yes, exactly, Daniel. If there's any weather you want to cut your hair for, it's going to be the sunny weather. What about you, Daniel? How are you doing? How's Ramadan been?
Alhamdulillah, it's been great. What about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thank you for asking. And this Ramadan's been really easy, I think. I don't like saying easy. It's been manageable.
You literally said this.
I don't know. It comes out. It
What?
comes out sometimes, you know.
Come on.
I know. You know what it is. Sometimes my words are more compatible with certain
Yeah, the IQ's
situations,
no IQ,
but
you know.
yeah, I don't choose my words very carefully sometimes. Okay, it's a big problem of mine.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
I do hear that. Yeah.
all right. But anyway, speak of compatibility. One of the first questions I actually wanted to ask you, which I didn't get to last week, was how do you, obviously last week we talked about who do you get with, or how do you know someone's the correct person, etc. Yeah. This week I want to ask you, how do you become compatible in a relationship? Because if you do go in blind and you don't know what's going on, you don't know how they are, etc., how do you then become compatible with your partner in a relationship? We start off with Daniel, the relationship guru.
What? Who said that? When? What? Why? Who gave me this nickname, man?
Nicknames, you give them to someone who has the attributes, you have the attributes of a relationship guru.
Okay, so thank you. Yeah. Imagine that something. Let's go back to the question.
So how do you become compatible with someone in a relationship?
I don't think you can force it, or there's not much way to go about it. It just happens. It's something natural, if that makes sense. No?
Yeah.
It's like when you meet a person, you don't really try hard. You just if you get along, you get along. If not, you just that's it, man. No, it's you cannot really force someone to like you or feel a certain way about you.
Let me clarify a little bit. Some people, they're in a relationship, they're married, let's say, and they obviously, when you get married, you start learning a lot more about a person, right? Because you're closer, you see the little things, you see the big things, and so on and so forth. And then sometimes you start wondering, oh, okay, am I compatible? Am I, I don't always share the same interests. I know I really like this person. I know I really want to be with this person, but we don't share the same interests. There's some things that are missing, but I know I really like them. Yeah, so I want to be closer to them. So how does someone get closer to someone they're in a relationship with? What's the
You find first of all you find the middle ground where you share like similar stuff. That's the middle ground, and then you adapt. So let's say you like something and she don't, so she needs to adapt to you for certain stuff, and you do the same for her, and you learn to just accept certain stuff, even though they might be really big for you, they might be really small for the other person. You just learn to adapt and just like look at the bigger picture, be like, oh, yeah, not everything is gonna be like sunshine and rainbows. Some stuff you need to just like take it in and just let it be.
very calming advice that is? What about Jamie then? Do you have anything to add?
Obviously, the first date is so you can find out whether or not, or whatever you do, to find out if you click with the person, and after that, you can schedule or decide either a couple more dates or just activities to do to see if you can bond and click. There was a movie I've seen a while ago, and somehow remember it. It's called 50 First Dates. I'm assuming it's along the same lines. This girl has this sort of, not code and what you call it, this rule where she has to date someone. If she can date this one person 50 times after those 50 dates, and then I think it was she then decide to either marry the person or move in or something like that. But basically, I think it was the same thing. You have these 50 first dates to see, almost like a challenge, if you will, to see if you can get along with the person, and if the guy can complete these 50 dates, then obviously she knew he was the right person. So it was about time, I guess, waiting, being patient.
Let me say a bit more. Yeah. Like this, the main thing is, yeah, how does the person make you feel? It's like you would neglect certain stuff about them just because like they make you feel something, but then there's like some major stuff that you need to you cannot neglect. For example, the mindset, how do they want to live their life, what's their priorities, and how do they feel about money and clothes, or are they materialistic, are they like you. That's like important stuff, but then like yeah, you need to look at that first, and then other stuff like minor stuff. For example, you would say, no, yeah, they might like certain stuff, and you might not. That's like small stuff for me. I think you can neglect it like them because if they make you feel like good, and they make you feel comfortable, you're gonna be like, okay, this person likes this, so I'll be fine. Let me try. Maybe it's not that bad, or maybe just do it out of love, and they do the same. So it's like you put your effort, and the other person puts their effort, and that's how it works pretty much.
So I'm really happy that you said that, Daniel, actually, because it leads to one of my questions. I was going to ask it later, but it's good time to segue into it. Um, so obviously you want to have the same mindset, right? If I were to summarize, is that fair to?
Similar,
Yeah,
yeah,
similar to that. You want to make sure you have
yeah.
similar, same mindset. But some people, they don't realize they're actually the same or similar as their partner. But they
Mm-hmm.
think they're so different, and they think they're not. They clash and stuff. But they actually want the same thing, but they just
Mm-hmm.
can't. They can't see it, or they can't communicate it, because not everyone's expert at talking, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
how does, in your opinion, and Jamie,
Mm-hmm.
if you remember what you said from earlier, feel free to just interrupt, okay? Um, so after this year, just jump in whenever, okay? But Daniel, how do how does someone not make sure? How does someone find out or figure out that they have, or they're on the same page as their partner? Like, we're talking about life choices, we're talking about finances, we're talking about principles, and so on and so forth.
Obviously, you need to ask them certain questions to get them like, do you know them better? For example, where do you see yourself? What's like your ideal life? What are your plans from here?
Like a job
For
interview.
example, yeah, career, yeah, pretty much, yeah, because you're gonna be living with that person, so you might be that person that likes to hustle and stuff. But then again, it's a bit weird because for example, career. So like I don't know, it's weird because I don't know, man. Depends how what kind of mindset you have. Some people be like, okay, yeah, I'm the man, I'm gonna provide, and even if she doesn't want to do anything, that's alright. But other people might be okay, yeah, I'm working, and she needs to have some kind of mindset, either business or like work. But it depends again what you want in that person as well. Yeah,
Um,
it's weird, man. But pretty much, you need to open up and ask, be precise with your questions, and seek for answers,
what
and go from there.
if you could like say one question, for example, just like as a standard, what's like maybe one of the most important questions you could ask?
Um, put them in a situation like, be like, okay, let's say, for example, you're living in a decent place, like a three-bedroom house in a decent place like Central, say, and all of a sudden you lose your job and stuff. How would they react, and would they try to help you, or would they like be like, oh, yeah, you're not good enough, or let's say, yeah, you cannot go back to them standards that you had before due to, for example, illness, or just like you just losing your job for some reason, and it's like how would you feel? Like, what would you do? Obviously, people are gonna say, oh yeah, like the real answer is obviously gonna be like, okay, yeah, no, fake answer, I guess. It's gonna be like, yeah, it's not that deep, or stick by you, but we'll talk like when it happens, it's gonna be something else. It's gonna be like, okay, the standards have dropped, and I don't feel comfortable in this space no more, and just leave and stuff. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think in that scenario, then it would probably be better if someone the person replying, if they were to say, you know what, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you don't take the correct steps, if and when that happens, if you don't take the correct steps, if you don't move yourself, if you don't work hard, and you don't show that you're trying to improve, you just mope about, then I'm gone. I think that's more honest, and I think that's keeps both parties on their toes, which is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
For me, on
Yep.
it's not every situation, but sometimes being opposite is better, I think. Well, I'm using myself as an example. So if I found a partner who was the same in me, I'd consider myself an introvert, not very outspoken and stuff. So if I found someone the same as me in that way, it's not going to work because then it's like, who's going to start the conversation? Obviously, you'd get comfortable with each other eventually, but like for the long term, like mostly you're going to be how you are. You won't change that different. So stay starting conversations or doing things like who's going to start it or who's going to lead. So for me, I'd want someone who's opposite to me, who's more talkative, who's more outgoing, stuff like that. So then, you have like you balance out the scales. You have my half, then you have her half. There's the what's the saying? Opposites attract. I believe that. So if someone's the same. Now there's another thing. If two people are outgoing and outspoken, that's a bit more different. But then one person's going to be. It's almost like they're going to be competitive. So one person's going to, I want to be better, I want to be better, and then they're going to clash. So again, even in that, I think two different opposite people, that's going to work out. And then you can try out each other's worlds, if you will. You can see how they live, and then you see how they live, what they do and what you do. So for me, not being the same is better. You should be opposite. You shouldn't be the same person.
I don't think I agree. I think it depends, but I think if you're the same, it's easier to it's easier for you to, how to should I say it? It's easier to
Express.
not get along. No, yeah, express pretty much. No, not even express. How do you say it? It's easier for you to open up or relate. Oh yeah, it's easier for you to relate to the other person. But then again, yeah, this is out of topic here. But what's like, like you say introvert and
Yeah.
extrovert, but
Extrovert.
what's
Yep.
the middle ground? The person that like chooses to be or can step
Well, someone
outside
could
the
be
comfort
both.
zone when they need to, but they rather, yeah, yeah. I think
You're
I'm one of
both.
them. I can be intro and extro.
I don't know
Like,
if there's a word for it, but we call it omnivert then, yeah.
yeah, I think there's people like that, and that's like the middle ground. So like you can be comfortable if you want to, but you choose not to. And if you need to step in, you just step in. So I think that makes it easier if you're like that. So you're in the middle, so you can step in when you want and step out when you need as well.
Is it fair to say, like perhaps if you share the same principles, to summarize it in a short way, if you share the same principles but you have different ways of getting there, yeah, so that way Jamie's version of, someone opposite or different to him is matched up because they are opposite and different. One might be introvert, one might be extrovert, but they both get there in their own way. And then that way your version of Daniel, what you said about, you want to do the same kind of things. So does that work it out? Does that fix the problem, or is that not still not enough?
I think okay, make it simple, yeah. Basically you should find the other person should strengthen your weaknesses, if that makes sense, and rest can be similarities. So you can be the same, but where you're lacking, the other person can step in, and where they lacking, you can step in. Yeah, but the rest here needs to be similar, somehow similar. Not everything, but most similar. Like you need to get along. But then again, yeah, it's like you don't really get to choose in a way. So like you're speaking to someone, and then the same rule you get along. You don't choose. You're like, oh yeah, this person has to have this, that, or this or that. They just like speak to you, and you're like comfortable. Again, yeah, I think the main thing is how you feel, or how they make you feel in a friendship or a relationship or anything else.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think those are really good points from both of yourselves. Um, so these are some of the questions that people think about before they get into a long-term committed relationship with someone, and particularly what I wanted to focus on, which is the big M, marriage. People will be asking themselves these questions. You know what we said about job interview in, South Asian Islamic communities. That's how they kind of do it, like a job interview, right? Because um, that's just how they kind of find out about each other. But since we're talking about marriage, what is marriage? If we were to define it, of course we can go with the dictionary definition, but when we look at our societal context in this day and age, what actually is marriage?
I think, in simple terms, being locked to a person physically and emotionally and financially for the rest of your life. In
Just to
simple terms.
just to clarify, did you say locked to a person?
Yeah, so you
Okay.
don't like look around to
hmm
say you found it and you stick by them.
Being locked to a person in all manners of life, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie, any ideas, just roughly, what marriage is?
I guess you find the one person that will be a lifelong partner that's better than anyone else that you connect with, someone you can live with in harmony for the rest of your life.
Fair, yeah. Um, if I can define marriage, so what is marriage? My response to that would be marriage is a contract between two people, which is to say that until from that moment on, until their last breath, that person is theirs, committed to them, part of them. Their bad days are their, they share the same bad days, they share the same good days, they share their, family responsibilities, they will share between themselves, and from that moment on, they are no longer just an individual person. They are two people in no they are yeah two people in one person, right? So that's what I would define marriage as. Okay, because and you can ask any question, you can relate it to anything, but that's how it should be. For example, if the wife is ill, whose job is it to nurse her back to health? Husband, isn't it? The husband. Do you understand? So that would be my definition or interpretation, let's say, of what marriage is. Okay, but in today's era that we are in, with everything so open, obviously I'm talking more for the UK USA community because they're very open, dialogue, speech marks, progressive, yeah. But is marriage important today?
I don't think it is unless you're religious.
Okay, and Jamie,
Uh, yes and no.
do you want to explain your yes and no?
No, because people are not. Oh, ones I've seen, they're not the same as the older generations. They care about people and finding a person for the person, as people nowadays are more um, money and cars and items instead of the person. Materialistic, that's the word. They're not there for the person themselves. They're there for what they have or what they will have.
Yeah, and the financial impact that you're gonna get after they leave you and stuff, yeah, it's not worth it. And the emotional trauma that you're gonna go through, I don't
But
think it's worth it unless you're religious, which makes sense.
my question then is, why do we think about leaving so quickly? That the person will leave.
That's what's normal in today's society. Everyone
And just
leaves
give
and
up and
stuff.
move on. Unless the
Yeah.
person leaving is because the other person.
There's not many people when I work out one pretty much. They're there for the moment and they leave and move on.
For their 15 minutes of love instead of 15 minutes of fame. Get a little boost a second, the slightest thing's gone, they're out.
Exactly.
See, I think I understand what you guys are saying, but so then okay, fine. We mentioned unless you're religious, yeah. I wanted to go into that what you just said, but I think, I don't know. I think pretty much, yeah. If you don't care about it, you don't care about it, right? But then for a religious setting, yeah, why is marriage important then? You're Muslim, and I'll come to Jamie. I'm gonna ask Jamie in a different way, okay?
You're Muslim as well. You answer.
No, I'll answer as well.
Muslim.
But I'm saying, why
guy,
is
You hate people that answer their own questions? Yes, I do.
why is marriage important, Daniel?
Why is it important? Because it's half of your deen.
So what's that? What does that mean for anyone who doesn't know what deen is and why is half
You
of
can
the deen?
explain it, bro.
Okay, so for Jamie or Gareth, if you're listening, or anyone who's unfamiliar with the term, okay, deen means faith. Okay, so your faith, your religion, and marriage is half of your faith. Okay, so when you get married, you complete half of your faith, meaning half of your life. There's a word missing. Half of your life is complete. Yeah, half of your life is complete. Okay, why? Because the partnership is there. Part of a Muslim's life is to produce offspring, to have children, to carry on their lineage, to also practice the religion, worship God. So when they say half of your deen, obviously there's more to it. Like half of your finances, let's say the God gives you provision, right? Half of your provision comes from your partner. There's other things, obviously, but obviously humans, we have our nature is to have certain things, and those certain things can only come from having a partner, right? So that is why it completes so many things. And there's also many, let's say, sins that are that you won't encounter if you are married. Okay, that's
That's
I'm
the
not
main thing.
that's the main thing, but I'm not sure if I've done justice to it. But more or less, if you were to summarize it in a couple of words, that's what I would say. Okay, there's definitely a million more things. Okay, so that's why marriage is important. Okay, and to the extent Prophet Muhammad said that when a male and so when a boy or a girl, basically, they pass the age of maturity, they should get married. Okay, so obviously don't hasten people to get married, like, because just because of that. Obviously there's levels. Okay, so there's one where if they're about to fall into sin, get them married. Okay, if they are age of maturity and they're not going to fall into sin or anything yet, but there's an opportunity to get them married. And I think the third level is if they pass maturity but there's no opportunity, there's nothing, it's chill, nothing's going to happen, then yeah, you can take your time, you relax. And again, yes, I am paraphrasing and I might have not got it all 150% accurate, but that's more or less why marriage is important. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you, Jamie, okay, to switch it over, you're not a religious person
At the moment, no.
Yet. Good, I like that answer, Jamie. Yeah, Muslim soon come. So at the moment you're not religious, yeah, but for you, in this current scope of mind that you have, the way you look at the world, the way you look at relationships, love, is marriage important to you?
Yeah, at some point.
Why is it important to you?
Because you find the one person you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, innit? That one soulmate, your best friend, if you will. The one person that you can, well, not share everything. But one person you can talk to, one person that will always be there, and you will always be there for them. Above everyone else, I don't know above everyone else, maybe your mum or whoever would be number one, but other than them, this partner will be the one person in your life you care about the most. You know, you'd have children with them or not, start a family, you grow old together. They're just that one special person that will be there for you, and you'll be there for them forever until death does us part, whatever the freaking phrase is.
See, Jamie, the way you described it was very nice, calm, beautiful, right? But do you think marriage is easy then? Like, is it as calm as that, in your opinion?
I don't think anything ever is. There's always those things hidden, like a trapdoor you don't know about. There's going to be problems there, but then that's what makes a good couple. If even with those problems arising and those problems being there, like say a mole on your foot or something, if you can make, even though it's there and it's not good, if you can work through them together in a non-toxic way, and you can come out on top on the other end, then everything will be all right. You know, I'll use an example of my life. My great nan and granddads, or my great nan and granddad, I'd go stay with them in Dorking when I was a child. You know, summer holidays, Easter, maybe Halloween once or twice. Like, you'd hear them arguing all the time, silly things, big things, but they'd always make up, and every night without fail, they'd say goodnight, you know, quick kiss on the cheeks, a hug, whatever. My granddad would bring my nan a cup of tea in the morning once they'd woken up. She would lie there in bed and watch whatever TV she watched, her the oldie people channels. He'll bring them a cup of tea in the morning, whatever. She'd lay in bed, breakfast in bed sometimes, and eventually they'd end up all right again after a big argument, a big ruck, or a little minor one. They'd always make up, and then no, we might do. Okay, darling or dear, do you want some dinner? Da 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 da. Should we go shopping? What do you want here? They'll make up. For some people, they have one little silly argument, and that's it. They don't talk to each other for the rest of the day. They'll go to bed mad with each other. You know, the husband or whatever will go and sleep on a couch downstairs instead of sharing a bed together. So the good ones are always the ones that can work things out after the problem. So even if it is hard, as long as you can work it out, and you know something's good, and you don't want to get rid of them, keep them.
No, that's really good. So then, just like you can look at your grandparents as an example or anyone, but what would the biggest setback be in marriage then? That from what you've seen, because none of us are married. So, from what you've seen, what is the biggest setback? What's the thing that holds people back in marriage the most?
Freedom. No?
Yeah, freedom.
What do you mean, Daniel?
I think once you get like kids and stuff, you find less time for yourself, and for yourself individually and your for the whole. And there's certain stuff you won't be able to do. That's why, like, if you look at people that retire, they do they actually like they get more time to themselves because their kids are grown and stuff, and then it's a bit too late for them to do certain stuff that they wanted to do when they was young. But then again, yeah, if you like communicate, you could make time. But I don't see many people do that, and I feel like they just like, oh, yeah, I got my kids now. Let's just focus on them, and they start taking less care of themselves. That makes sense.
Jamie, would you agree with that as well?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because what I was going to ask then, are you both answering that question as a man, or just from an objective point of view, for, like looking at marriage, or are you specifically thinking
Just marriage.
In general.
Okay,
both.
okay.
That's relate both sides.
But the reason why I asked that is I was just wondering, like, because you said about looking after kids, and so sometimes the women will feel like that's their job. The man will feel like maybe that's their job, depending on man might want to go to work or whatever. But obviously in this country the dynamic is very different, and with new wave feminism being quite popular, in everywhere now. The role of a man and the role of a woman is not unclear. It's just it's kind of gray, right? So people don't actually know what their roles are. They're just kind of doing. Everyone's kind of robotically doing what they think they're meant to be doing. So then, in marriage, then what is the role of a man and what is the role of a woman? There is obviously from an opinionated view. Not we're not setting any laws here, but from your opinions, what is the role of a man in marriage? What is the role of a woman in marriage, especially in the UK, USA, and so on and so forth?
A role of a man is to provide for the family, and the woman is to look after him and the kids. That doesn't mean he's not gonna do any housework or nothing. It just means her main role is that, but she can still get help from him. Does that make sense? And then again, she does have a freedom to work, but yeah, but her main objective is to look after the kids and then.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Daniel. Yeah, and Jamie, what about you?
Yeah, I'd agree. Um, that was set in stone like decades ago. The husbands would go out working, doing the jobs. The husband would be the wife would be at home cooking, looking after the kids, housework, doing whatever chores they need to. And now it can be either both parents does a bit of both, or completely switched. I bet there are roles out there where the wife goes out and has a job and works, and the husband is at home and looks after the kids and goes out with them to take them to the park, wherever, take them to school, pick them up from school. But yeah, normally, as a not stereotype, but just normally, it would be the husband would go out to work and the wife would be at home looking after the kids.
Well, just to add to it, that doesn't mean she's gonna be a slave at home and she's gonna do everything. She still has the freedom to go outside and do whatever she wants to and work. But that's the main thing. The main thing is looking at, for example, the UK. I feel like one person working is not enough to provide now. Like everything has gone up so much. It's like even if you work like your ass off after tax and stuff, you're barely left with anything. If that makes sense, and that can be a reason why not like it kind of affects it in a way where you might rely on the other gender just a bit, but some people actually do 50-50s, which is debatable. Um, yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons as well. But then again, they have this new thing about, oh yeah, I can do everything by myself, and yeah, that's just something else that we rather not speak about.
Um, I don't mind giving a comment on that. For example, look in this country, actually loads of countries now. Yeah, look, men and women are both becoming educated.
Equally,
Yeah,
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 equal as well,
equally they have the
maybe
opportunities. Let's say, but the
equally paid.
equity, I don't think the equity is there. So why I say that is this. Look, let's pretend husband and wife. Yeah, just blank example default. So the husband, he's got a standard paying job. Let's just pretend he earns 30k a year. Okay, and the wife, she's got a standard job, but she also earns 30k. All right. So the husband goes out to work, the wife also goes out to work. A year or two later, perhaps the wife, she's going to have a baby. Okay, so then now she's going to have a baby. She takes maternity leave and whatnot, and now she's also looking after the children at home. She's doing the housework to keep everything, afloat, working as normal. And then on top of that, she's looking after the kids. And then what happens is that workload, obviously when she goes back to work, the workload increases. She's working now, she's looking after kids, she's got all of these responsibilities. Yeah, and then the man, what's he doing? He's still got the 30k, he's still doing the job, and I guess he can come home and change a few nappies, or he can feed the milk or whatever, but it won't be the same because he didn't keep a child in his stomach for 9 months. Do you know what I mean? So it's like that's where the imbalance happens. The equity is not there, right? Equality, yeah, they both have the same opportunities. They can still go to work, whatever. But is it fair? That's the question. So that's why, I don't know, maybe for you too, if it's like that. For me, it's by all means go to work, do what you need. But the moment that life starts getting difficult, painful, you know, responsibilities increase, chill at home, maybe work less, maybe drive your career in a different way, but at the same time accommodate for your health and for your family. Do you know what I mean? And then I think the man should accommodate in the other sense. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he should work more, or maybe he should um I
Try
don't
harder.
know, try harder, or like be more emotionally available. All of these kind of responsible things. I think, but from both sides, the responsibility needs to be increased. Okay, and you need to understand first how to be parents as well. That's another thing. How to be good partners as well before you get into anything. Um, yeah, that's something I strongly believe in. Like, it's not about, oh, women don't have freedom, men don't have freedom. It's not that. For me, it's do what is in accordance to your biological ability, and do what is in accordance to your mental ability, and do what is in accordance to, for me, obviously I'm going to have the added religious ability, right? So like God's given women certain qualities, certain features that they should, you know, take advantage of, and God's given men certain qualities, certain features that they should take advantage of. So instead of trying to divert and change those qualities, maybe use what you have, use the tools at your disposal, and you know, you find that it's healthy. But you have to be healthy about it. It can't be forced, it can't be uh strict, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's my opinion on the role of a man and woman in marriage. Okay, so obviously those are all things that we're focusing on when you're in the marriage. Yeah, but look, none of us here are married. So obviously the current struggle for us is when you want to get married, okay, and when you're trying to get married, there's certain obstacles that come and find you in your way, okay. um so the first signal is, you know, for young people is what, and I'll direct this at Danielle then, yeah. But what signal do you find in your life that shows you that you're ready for marriage, or you've chosen the right person, or you know, some stuff like that? Because oftentimes we're scared, isn't it, that, oh, what if they're the wrong person, or what if it's the wrong time? So what's the signal for you that tells you that, or obviously maybe you haven't had that signal yet. So then what do you think the signal is? What are you looking for to show you that it is time and you are ready?
I think it's just change of mindset. It's like you wanna just be settled and just like you go through a phase where you like, oh yeah, I wanna talk to many people, be on social media. I feel like it changes to a point where you're like, oh yeah, I wanna be low key, I just wanna be settled and just have this one person, just go home, uh, just be with them, then go work and just be normal. And then you said, yeah, how do you find the right one? I feel like again it's like how to make you feel. And then Islamically you can just pray the prayer, name it right now. You
What is istikhara?
you can pray that and from there you can yeah, it's like you're asking for help from Allah if the person is easy for you. I think it's pretty basic and simple. Islamic.
Jamie, the istikhara means guidance, by the way, yeah,
Uh-huh.
just in case you were a bit lost there.
Okay.
So then, okay, so then another issue, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
when you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
get married is,
Finances.
there are let's see, so I was gonna get into it. So you said finances, Daniel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So finances, what, how does that play a role?
I think it's like both ways in a way, because the main thing is you should be able to provide for the other half, and then again like this whole thing culturally, I guess, where you need to be in a certain position in life, have a decent job, have a decent career, have a decent house, be able to afford to live by yourself, have a decent car. Like there's like different norms that they been set before you even are looked at and be taken seriously, if that makes sense. And yeah, so finance plays like a big role from. But then again, there's this I get say not even cool. How do you say it from the Quran? So not even I don't
Yeah,
know.
verse.
Yeah, words from the Quran where it's like make it halal, but like just do it for the sake of God, and then He will provide from places that you never imagined. So it's like why do you worry about finances in a way? Work towards it, but don't worry about it. everything will fall in place when time comes.
All right. So so that's a good point. But what does good finances look like to get married? What does that mean for a person? Let's say if they're looking for a standard.
Standard person, pretty basic. Just be able to afford to live by yourself and be able to provide for them. That could be just basic, pretty much house, food, and like the main thing, having a roof over your head and be able to provide food. That's like the most basic thing. Forget cars or anything else. I mean, a career, not even career, a job or a business. A source of income, pretty much, which is, I guess, stable in a way.
Okay. So then my question, I want to switch it to Jamie. Yeah. How much do you think is obviously Danielle talked about the living costs, yeah, like looking after costs, all right, but how much obviously we could talk about, oh, okay, what about the woman? If she's working, then shouldn't she provide, blah blah blah, but obviously we've all said, pretty much said, that the role of a man is to provide, so we're going down that route, okay? But then Jamie, how much do you think, in your personal opinion, how much is reasonable to spend on a wedding?
I wouldn't want something big like that. I wouldn't want something big and flashy. Just a little reception, get married, maybe 5, 10 of each side of the family, like 5 in total. Maybe 10 family and friends, and then the partner, 10 family and friends. And if you want to arrange something somewhere else, I like the after wedding where you go there and do like the actual main wedding, just in a little small reception. Small things, nothing big and flashy. Just get married. A couple people want to show up, and then you go your separate ways. And then, so that if you do want to go all out, you can do that on the, what's the thing where you go, a honeymoon? Yeah, you can splash out on that instead. Go somewhere nice for the honeymoon. But no, I personally
Spend on yourselves, not the people.
Yeah. You don't want to spend all the decorations. Yeah.
To that point, I just want to say this guy is a Muslim too hot, and maybe you should start learning about Islam. That's like
true.
A perfect answer.
It's so crazy how perfect that is. That's the thing.
Innit?
No, even as a birthday man, I wouldn't want someone like I would say I want. I don't want a little quiet birthday, but honestly, I would. I don't probably have that many people who would come anyway. But even if I did, it's like too much, and nobody would be there. Exactly, just it'd be like us lot go out with something to eat, like we've been down to London. Like that would be a perfect birthday to me. Just go play golf or whatever we do. Go have something to eat. Done. Instead of going, hey, happy birthday in a big old room. In a big old venue. Yeah.
I just want to say one thing here. Mark my word, yeah. In max 3 years, this guy's gonna be a Mr. What? I can tell this guy.
Inshallah.
Sometimes I'm actually like, what? This guy is like literally the same. You know the answer he gave, yeah? That's like
the wedding one.
Every Muslim's answer. Yeah.
No, I bet there's some people out there.
That's so generalized.
Self-centered, and they want.
Yeah,
flashy.
No, you're right. You're right. There are lots of people, but people who are traditional Islamic kind of thing, they focus more on the little reception for yourselves, and then splash on yourselves, splash on your own life, go to Hajj or Umrah, go on holiday or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what people do, and it's so weird that you gave that answer.
What?
But see. So I think maybe
this might be my introverted side coming out. I won't want something big and flashy.
I was gonna say that, or maybe times are changing. People don't care about.
Maybe Daniel needs to go. So in a bit, boys.
Alright. Maybe people don't actually care about having flashy weddings that much anymore, which is that's probably one of the reasons. Just to update everyone, Daniel's left us now because he has commitments.
The very first day we were just me and you. Now it was
just me and you again. Daniel's left us, and it's just me and Jamie again. Back to the OG lads talk. Okay,
go back.
These new guys coming here ruining everything. You know what's really funny? We both know they're not going to listen to this part, so we can just say it. So it's fine. Gareth might, if he's not too tired. Okay, I'm actually going to keep this in, by the way. Yeah.
You go back to the very first episode and see my comeback, see my glow up.
Glow
different
up, yeah.
times.
Go to the if you compare the first episode to
To this
how
part
Jamie is
now,
now, wow,
it's about to be
what
different.
a glow up. I'm still waffling, unfortunately, but anyway,
Yeah.
we're still here. So Jamie, I wanted to say, so your dream wedding seems like a dream wedding for lots of people. I would say it's my dream wedding as well.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
But if I may ask, what is your dream partner? What, obviously, if you don't have someone in mind, you don't have someone in mind. But what's your kind of, what does it look like, or what do they do that is your dream?
Okay, let's go with the personality and everything like that. As I explained earlier, someone a bit more different to me, or at the moment I feel this would work. If we get to there eventually and find someone like that, possibly, I'll see for myself if I'm correct in my decisions and ideas. Yeah, someone more extroverted and talkative, basically opposite to me at the moment. Because then, as I've said, I can experience her world, and then at some point she can experience mine. So, say one night she'll want to take lead and say, let's either go out as a party, as a friend of mine or a family member. It's going to be like 40, 50 plus people there. It's going to be loud. It's going to be hectic. Get you right out of comfort zone. And then another night I can say, right, I'm going to bring you into my world. Sit at home, movie, something to eat, takeout, Chinese, whatever. Or just go for a quiet walk in a park or a forest. Obviously, I want someone to be supportive, at the same time pushy. Like, you should do this, you should try this. I'd say I am very spontaneous. If you lot said, "Oh, should we go do something? Should we go here, do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." I'm not like hesitant. Sometimes I do like a little bit of structure. I can't lie, but now and again a little not freedom. What would the word be? Spontaneous, I guess. I'll go back to that word.
Spontaneity, yeah.
Yeah. Like with Gareth and Daniel, they'd say, "Oh, do you want to go out tomorrow?" Or later on, they may say, "Do you want to go and do this?" And I mean, like, yeah. So sometimes I'm not completely structured. I've got to do this at this time, I've got to do this here. But other times I do like to plan stuff out. So someone again who's organized, because I don't like being late to places or being unorganized. Someone who likes to have fun. They can go do all these different activities. Like to try stuff out. Not being scared to try new things. Crazy in a way that they're not completely quote unquote normal. A little bit loopy, as in like they would be somebody just some sort of a little bit loopy in a way. A couple screws loose, if you will, but not too much. There's a limit to everything. And just overall, someone who's just nice. Now, there's nice, and then there's being nice. Like, you can be nice, you can be friendly, but then have boundaries, and now and again. Oh, there's a quote. What was the thing I saw from before? You can still be nice and still tell people to F off now and again. Obviously, they can be nice, they can do whatever, they can be kind, they can be sweet, but then obviously they have a tough side, I guess. If they need to step in and sort out an issue, they can. And just overall, just a fun person to be with. Good sense of humour. Hopefully they can be funny. Got a good enough sense of humour that she'll laugh or somebody will laugh to the most absurd and unfunniest of jokes. Just basically, if there was someone out there, a female version of me, basically, but a bit more extroverted, I guess. That would be the simple answer. Female version of me and someone who is an extrovert at the moment. Now, maybe down the line, I may figure out maybe having a partner who's a bit more outgoing may not be the thing. Like what Daniel said, I want someone the same as me so that we can connect and we can understand each other.
So then, where is your dream location for a wedding?
Dream location. Now I could say, I like going to the beach. I like the seaside. You could have a nice fit somewhere on a beach, but then you have to think about the weather, the day, how it's going to be, how the weather can play out that day, and it might be too windy. But somewhere, hopefully, on a nice sunny day. No, you're not exactly in a building. Maybe loads of windows or something that's got two. Oh, what's those things? Oh man, here we go. There's this thing where it's all made up of wood. You sort of stand in it, but it's not closed off. There is a roof to it. So
Is it gazebo?
kind of a gazebo, but there's ones that are made out of wood, and they're like, so you obviously you wouldn't move them. They're there, but it's opened up. And you stand in it there. But some sort of outside venue, at least an indoor venue where you can have wide doors open. It's windows nice and sunny. Again, I wouldn't splash out too much. Maybe a few decorations here and there. But something nice and simple. Simplicity at its finest. Nothing too much, nothing too hectic, not too many people there, but also not too little people there. A perfect middle ground of people, decorations, of things.
And that's that.
And that's that, yeah.
And that is that. Well, there's obviously a lot more to talk about when it comes to marriage, and I think we've covered quite a lot today, actually. But one thing that we haven't covered today, which I'd just like to say to conclude, is we haven't covered the fact that you need to subscribe right now to the Lads Talk podcast.
You never forget about that.
Subscribe. You never forget about that. Subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to our TikTok, Instagram. We're on LinkedIn as well. And of course Spotify. I think this warrants one last episode on this topic because it's a large topic. So if you've enjoyed this, if you enjoyed this theme of ours since last week, you guys did vote for this, and if you did enjoy it, please leave a thumbs up on the video, leave a like, and of course share it with others if you think it's beneficial for them, and do subscribe, share our video with others, and make sure you post us on your socials. I'm not sure. I think the winner of the giveaway will be announced by the time we've released this video, and if that does happen, congratulations to whoever won the giveaway. But yeah, that is, I think we're gonna have to carry this on next week. And next week, just to give you a bit of a preview, we're going to be doing the most juiciest of the juicy ones, marriage and culture. Okay, so it's gonna be a big one. A good one, especially if you're from the South Asian community. Get ready, because we're gonna go deep into that topic. I think we might accompany it with some others. I'll put up a poll and see what everyone votes for by next week for us to cover. But thank you so much for listening, and we'll end the video on the quote of the week. And the quote of the week this week is: "Love starts as a feeling, but to continue is a choice."
That's nice.
So there you have it, and we hope that you continue subscribing and watching this and listening to this podcast. Thank you once again for 106 subscribers. We're only going forwards, upwards, inshallah. But until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Hold the phone. Don't go just yet, because we have ourselves our very first winner of our very first Lads Talk YouTube giveaway of a £10 Amazon gift card voucher. And the winner for this giveaway is none other than Usman Khan, who commented on our most recent video. The winner was randomly selected, but well done, Usman. Today's your lucky day. We will be in touch with you to get you your gift card very soon, but congratulations. And keep your eye out for any future giveaways, because we will be doing them, especially when we hit milestones. Our next milestone that we want to hit is 250 subscribers. So go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the Lads Talk YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, wherever we are, and don't forget to share us with others, post us on your socials. But that's it for us today, and we'll see you next week. Just a quick note as well, next week we'll be uploading later than our usual Tuesday, because we have a very special episode coming out for you at the end of the week. But until then, it's goodbye from us, and see you next time.